Well, I think if it wasn't for I Like Me being pretty grounded, I would say that this week's theme was things that shouldn't work but do. Because our classic movie is Point Break.
Yeah.
the Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves, and Nick Nolte 90s. Gary Busey. Sorry, I often confuse them.
That's easy to do.
So I had never seen this movie before. Had you?
I had many, many years ago. And one of the things I noticed about this movie was that the first Fast and Furious movie basically ripped it off. Ripped this movie off.
Just instead of thrill-seeking surfers, it was like car racers?
Yeah, basically, yeah. And they weren't robbing banks, they were hijacking semi-trucks and stealing DVD players.
Boy, that's not an aged concept.
Oh, I know, yeah. Well, yeah, that movie came out in like 2001 or 2002, something like that.
I've still never seen any of those.
I've only seen that first one. I haven't seen any of the other ones. But I actually prefer this movie though.
Yes. So I had heard of this like in passing in various places. I remember I think it was Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool kept calling him Point Break.
Avengers.
Avengers. Okay.
Yeah, Tony Stark kept calling Thor Point Break.
Which, okay, that makes much more sense because like he basically does kind of look like Thor, or Patrick Swayze does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, there's definitely some similarity there. Yeah, long blonde hair, beard. Yeah.
Yep. But so the basic premise of this movie, and I'd heard about it in passing over the years, always just sounded too stupid to possibly be real. and the basic concept was Keanu Reeves playing Johnny Utah, a police agent, goes undercover with a bunch of surfers to uncover their crime ring.
Yes, they call themselves the ex-presidents because they rob the banks wearing the masks of ex-presidents, and there's a fair balance between Democrat and Republican presidents because you had Reagan, Nixon, Carter, and LBJ. Yeah.
Which although I think at that point that's basically who is still alive.
Yes, they were
among the ex-presidents.
Yeah, I don't know. Was Johnson still alive then? Let me look that up real quick.
He died in the early 90s. No, I think
let's see. Johnson died in he died in 73.
Oh, you're right. Because he was very ill, which is part of why he didn't run for re-election. That's
right.
I was thinking of. I remember reading the newspaper when his wife died in the 90s. That's right.
2000s.
Oh, she made it that long. Cool.
Yeah. I was in college, when she passed away, and I was in Austin, Texas. So yeah, it was all over the news.
Oh yeah. That's right. Lady Bird. Yeah.
Yeah, Lady Bird. Yeah, she. Yeah, I remember that. But anyway, but yeah, so this movie, they're robbing banks, wearing masks of ex-presidents, and and you got Keanu, Johnny Utah. It's a heck of a name for of course, part of his character is that his backstory is that he was a quarterback at Ohio State, and of course he couldn't go pro because he blew his knee out.
Yep, I guess that's the. If only the Sanda animated had a knee injury, that would have been our carrying theme for the night.
Yeah. But yeah, so and they go undercover with he goes undercover with the surfers because Gary Busey he's the veteran partner. That's his theory is that they're surfers because they only rob the banks during the summer.
Right, and it's like it generally he kind of thinks that they're not quite snowbirds, but they're always like chasing the seasons, like where there's going to be good surf.
Yeah. Yeah, and So yeah, so then so as Johnny Utah goes undercover, he basically he meets up with Patrick Swayze's character Bodhi, and he's one of these like Zen surfers, you know, where he's
Right.
like, oh, you're
There's
one
a
with the
spiritual
waves.
angle.
There's a spiritual angle to it, yeah. And yes, there are guys out there like him.
Yep. Very, a relatively smaller percentage of them are bank robbers. I couldn't give an estimate, but
Yeah. um, yeah, and and of course the other part of it too is that he ends up falling. Johnny ends up falling with Bodhi's ex-girlfriend. What was her name?
Tyler.
Tyler, played by Lori Petty, who I remember her from A League of Their Own. She played Gina Davis's sister in that movie, and she was also the titular Tank Girl in Tank Girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, she was also in Free Willy.
Oh. But yeah, so the whole crux of the movie is Johnny trying to having these conflicted feelings because he does kind of go native. Because he does, because he in his heart he is an adrenaline junkie, and so he just gets really taken in by Swayze and his gang, and
It's kind of, in a way, it's like a Fern Gully, Dances with Wolves, Avatar plot,
yeah,
where the agent is sent in to undo a group, and they end up being partially assimilated.
right, yeah, and which kind of doesn't surprise me that it has that angle with it, because the director of the movie was Catherine Bigelow, who I think, I'm pretty sure that she was, at the time, she was married to James Cameron, who was an executive producer on the movie. And so yeah, so there's a little bit of that connection there. And for those of you who don't know, she also did like The Hurt Locker. What else did she direct? She directed that movie where they went after Osama bin Laden. She also
Zero
did
Dark 30.
Zero Dark 30. Yeah, that was it. And she also did. She also directed a movie that James Cameron wrote called Strange Days. Strange
Not
Days,
familiar
Strange
with that
Days.
one.
It's kind of obscure and it's very hard to find. It's kind of a tech noir thriller. Ray Fiennes is in it. A few other people. Yeah, it's kind of a weird movie, but it's got some really good elements to it. But and actually there's some things in this movie that I noticed that they did in Stranger Days. So in Stranger Days, you wear these like the things on the top of your head that records your thoughts, and there are a lot of scenes in that movie that are done from like first person perspective, and there are a lot of first person shots in this movie. So so obviously I think she was like experimenting with that technique in this movie so that she could do Stranger Days.
Yeah, and overall, the directing in this is great. I kept being startled by just how many varied, or there were a lot of scenes where I was thinking to myself, okay, how did you pull that off? Did you actually have to did you actually send them out surfing at night, waiting for these huge waves that could have killed everybody to come through? Or is that like a soundstage in a pool and you just did a great job of covering it up?
I looked at the scene, and I think what they did was, for a lot of them, they filmed it during the magic hour.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who don't know, magic hour, it's a part of the time of the day where the sun's not quite up fully yet, but it's still dark. So there's a little bit of light. It's only like 20 or 30 minutes. And I think that's what they did, was they filmed a lot of it during those scenes in there. And then, yeah. And I wonder if maybe too, yeah, they probably did use a soundstage for some of it. Yeah. Especially if it was like pitch black. Yeah. but the other one that got me was the skydiving scene. You know, like
Scenes. Yeah,
scenes. Yeah,
those were, yeah. Like I kept thinking to myself, okay, that is just obscenely dangerous.
yeah,
like fighting in the middle of the air and like wrestling and waiting for the last possible minute to deploy the chute.
yeah, yeah. That
Like
was
whatever the stuntmen were paid for this movie, it was not nearly enough.
yeah. Well, speaking of stuntmen or stand-ins or whatever, like the first scene when you see Patrick Swayze's character out there surfing,
Mm-hmm.
but you can tell looking at it like that's not him out there surfing.
What? You don't think the Swayster was doing all of his own stunts?
No, I don't think he was. I don't think Keanu. Well, Keanu might have been doing some of them, but yeah,
I could see Keanu like being able to do at least do like a little basic surfing.
yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is a uh, fairly thrilling, decent action, early '90s action movie. It is very '90s.
It's also like it is very sincere and silly, but also like, that sincerity just makes up for it. Like
Yeah,
I think that a lot of the performances aren't technically good, but they are perfect for what is called for. If that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Keanu wasn't really selling it very well, as much as I love the guy. Although this was very early in his career, it was only like
Right.
his second or third movie, I think.
Yeah. But no, I think I loved this movie. Just like it, it had very inventive action scenes, like a set piece with a lawnmower.
Oh yeah,
They I honestly kept like really guessing where things were going. Like
yeah,
okay, well, what's going on here? I think it's because Patrick Swayze's character Bodhi, which is I figure he's obviously like a shortening for Bodhisattva, Buddhist spiritual, like not quite a god, but like an ascended being. It's like, okay, we get it.
yeah.
Uh, he, it's almost like the Dark Knight Joker, where it's just like it is a villain who um, is very particular, like or very like it is a villain that works because like okay, Patrick Swayze does not have a reputation as the most amazing actor in the world, but just like I feel like Keanu Reeves was perfect for his role here.
Yeah,
Patrick was born to play Bodhi.
yeah, yeah. I have a hard time picturing anybody else playing this character other than him.
Yeah, and it's just he managed to. It's like this narcissistic, self-involved, pseudo spiritual BS that
Yeah,
he just personifies so well in this movie.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Um, the other thing too, although I guess if they actually did do a remake of this movie like 10 years ago, and it was an abysmal failure.
I can't imagine why. Who
Yeah,
did
yeah.
who did they get to play him?
I don't know. I can't remember who they got. Um, but if it were me, I would have gotten Chris Hemsworth.
Yep, just
Uh,
lean right into it.
oh yeah,
I could see him pulling that off, but he was pretty good in what do you call it?
Furiosa. Yeah,
Furiosa. That's it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Hell, even let him keep his Australian accent. Surfing's a big thing in Australia.
Yep. Well, I mean, you're surrounded by ocean. What else are you going to do?
Yeah,
Um, I think I think I have one criticism of this thing. Uh, it kind of feels like it gave in to the modern Hollywood. What's our second, third act?
yeah,
Like the end went on. Like the end, I almost feel like they kind of had that ending in mind, and they had a hard time bridging from the last set piece to that ending.
yeah. Yeah, that's and that might be another James Cameron influence there because that's something he does in every single one of his movies. He always has like two or three third acts.
Yeah.
Um, And that sequence was kind of almost, I almost wonder if they had a different ending.
Yeah, they do look different.
Yeah, and of course Keanu's hair's longer in the
and Bodhi cut his, right?
yeah. And
So
part of it was maybe they had an alternate ending and the test audiences didn't like it, and so then they went and shot this one instead.
yeah, because like the actual ending itself is kind of perfect for Bodhi. Like it's like this. It is this like coastal. Like it's like the sort of selfishness where it's like as long as you're spiritually satisfied. Actually, no. Like he had a moral compass. It's just that he was kind of pushed and dropped it towards the end of his career.
He really goes he goes off the rails at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And hey Arcos, good to see you.
Hey man. But yeah, so it's currently on Netflix, although I think it said it was leaving at the end of the month.
Yes, yeah.
Which is part of why this finally moved up the to watch list.
Yes, yeah.
But
I would recommend this movie. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I always cut you off.
That's okay. That's okay. No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I definitely recommend this movie over, say, The Fast and Furious.
Right. I think this is like the legendary perfect movie where it just achieved everything it set out to do.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Like I don't think better acting would have actually helped it. I think everybody was perfectly cast for the level of depth as the characters, because like these aren't necessarily the deepest people. They're just like they're wrestling with some things, but it's like
yeah.
We're not really dealing with philosophers here.
No, that's true. Yeah. Even Gary Busey was perfectly cast.
Oh yeah, no, like he seemed like the exact sort of crank, weird old cop who would come up with this cockamamie theory about the surfers.
Yeah.
I also did like how they use some lab science to zero in on things. Zero in on them. Just all around, this movie is very creative and in its own weird way. Again, like I know a lot of people who I would show this to and they would go, "DB, what the hell did you just make me watch?" But I think that if you vibe with it, it is just perfect.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think we've said all we need to say for tonight.
Indeed.
Well,